Hi everyone, this is Tyrone Harris with Drawing for Beginners video 2. And right now I just want to show you some of the supplies that you're going to need for this class. First thing you see here is this drawing pad, the Strathmore drawing pad. I prefer it. I've used it since I was in high school. And it has a sort of an off-white colored paper, and it works well for me. You have to decide. There are several pads out there that you can get, but this is my preference. But you have to get what you want. Secondly, I have pencils. So here is a set that I have. This is called the Master's Touch pencil set. It's a set of 12 pencils. And the thing about pencils is that you have different hardness and softness of leads. The softer the lead, the darker the mark is going to be. The harder the lead, the lighter the mark is going to be. And so that helps you, especially this set here, to get a wide range of values going from light to dark. Now, when you don't have a set this large, if you only have a set of 4, then you've got to try and come up with 12 different values, but with only 4 pencils. And so that could be somewhat of a challenge. Doesn't mean you can't do it, it just means that you're going to have to do a lot more. Whereas with this set here, and especially if you are shading, you just use pencils, you don't use stumps like I use, then this set, of course, will be your best bet to go with, because you have a wider range of pencils. Now, this goes from 2H to 12B. Now, this set right here, this goes from HB to 6B, and you only have 4, so you have HB, 2B, 4B, and 6B. So I've got all of the B's over here, and I've got more H's on this side. I have 2H, H, HB, B, 2B, all the way to 12B. But when we get to 6B, then it skips a number. It goes from 6B to 8B to 10B to 12B. So there is no 7, 9, or 11B in this set. Okay, so those are pencils. And then we have erasers. This one here, this eraser here is called a kneaded eraser, and it's almost like a little clay. It feels sticky to the hands. You can see that I'm doing this here; it's not falling out, and you see that it feels sticky to the hands. But if you do that, it's not sticky at all. But what it does is when you touch down on something, it lifts up the graphite. And so if you're trying to make something a little bit lighter, then this is good for that. Plus, you can shape it, and maybe the area that you want to make light is very small. Maybe it's like in the corner of this eye right here. If you were drawing this, well, you wouldn't want to have to take a big eraser like this and try and erase, because you probably erase more than what you want. But with the kneaded eraser, you can shape it a certain way, a little tip, and then you just touch right in the area that you want to take out. Do that, and you lift it out. So that's how that works. This is a plastic eraser, and so is this. The thing I like about these is, in comparison, compared to your red erasers, the red or pink erasers, oftentimes if they sit for a long time and you try to erase them, they'll leave a red streak. And if you ever try to erase a red eraser streak, it can be very, very difficult. And if you are drawing, you certainly don't want to have a red streak on your artwork, especially if you're drawing for someone else or for commission. Okay, these are the erasers. Okay. Then, of course, you're going to need a sharpener. And then, finally, if you're like me, you like to use paper stumps for shading. And so that's what these are. Different size paper stumps depending on if you're doing something that is large and you have a lot of space that you need to cover, well, use a larger paper stump. It's easier to cover. Sort of like if you're painting a wall, you wouldn't want a paintbrush the size of a toothbrush. You'd want something larger, or a roller, or they have the air guns that you can spray it with. Now, if you're trying to do something small and detailed, just like I showed you with the kneaded eraser, well, you can also use a smaller stump to get into the areas that would be right up in there. Now, let me show you an example of this. So right here, I have this big stump right here, so I'm going to just move that around, swirl it around in the graphite right there. And then I want you to see the size of the line that it creates. Okay, so you can see the line, the line that it creates. Let me blow this up a little bit more so you can see it a little better. All right there. So you can see the size that it makes. Let's do that one more time. Excuse me. So you can see that right there. Now, let's take this little small one right here and let's see what kind of line it makes. And so here's a small one, and then you can see that. And you can see that it's much thinner than this line over here. So if I'm trying to get into somewhere where like an area right here where it's really small, then I'm going to use something smaller to get in there and try and shade it, rather than something this large that's going to cover up something else that I don't want covered up. Okay, those are the stumps, and the whole idea is that when you're shading, again, you're trying to get the value in, and so you get something that looks like this. This is an ear that I've been working on, and all I'm doing is I'm using stumps for that. And the stump that I'm mainly using is a stump about this size right here. This size is a little bit larger than that, but what I'm doing is I am taking the paper like this right here. I'll put the stump in there, rub around there, and shade it in there. Now, where it needs to be really dark, like for example right in here, well over here I am just using the pencil and I'm coloring in there, and then I'm taking the stump afterwards and just blending it out or smearing it out. That's how I'm doing that. Okay, so this is video 2 of Drawing for Beginners, and if you like it, please hit the like button, subscribe, put a comment in and tell me what you got out of it, or tell me what's maybe frustrating about drawing to you. And then of course, please share with someone else. Thanks, God bless, and have a great day.